everybody. I can see your comments now too. So, oh my God, that's why I don't do these very often. I mean, my goodness. Okay, thank you. Thanks for understanding. I hope everybody got the answer to that last question.
All right, we're going back to Phyllis Garcia's question. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right.
So,
Phyllis Garcia.
we're going back to questions, guys.
Phyllis asked, "Hi, Kat. Has there ever been a time in all your years of camping out where you were truly afraid being alone and heard something or someone lurking nearby or in the distance?"
Okay. Well, there was a time when I was up in the Eastern Sierra. I was camped at a Joey needed a beer break anyway, somebody said. Okay, I was camped at the Eastern Sierra at a lake called Barney Lake, and in the middle of the night, I just heard this loud splash. And I thought, I didn't know what it was. I was terrified. It was super freezing cold, and in my mind, I thought it was a bear dragging my hiking partner out of their tent. And I never did find out what it was, but at that point in time, that night, and it was when I was first getting into backpacking, I was terrified. So that was probably my most terrifying experience, and it could have really been nothing. Thank you, Phyllis.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, the Wandering Wolves.
Oh,
You've been so many amazing places, but what is one place you have not gone backpacking yet that you really want to backpack?
Wow.
Good question.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, probably in another country potentially. My cousin is currently backpacking in Italy, and yeah, Dolomites. Martina sent me some information on the Dolomites, and it looks absolutely incredible. So maybe the Dolomites. Where are some places that you've suggested to me?
Alaska?
Alaska, yes, definitely. I'm thinking of going to Alaska next summer. I know a lot of people have asked me if I'll ever visit Alaska, and it seems like I've been super, super close to going to Alaska and have never made it there yet. So I think maybe next year could be the year. Joey's been backpacking in Alaska. What do you think of it?
Alaska's awesome.
Yeah.
It's big, yeah. Lots of mountains, so.
Yeah.
And you're also going to go do a trip later this year in a new place. Where's that going to be?
Oh, yes. Later this year, I am meeting up with the Reeves, Kim Reeves, who is one of my moderators here, and her husband, Steven. And we are meeting up in the Eagle Cap Wilderness in Oregon. So I've only done one other trip in Oregon, and that was at Crater Lake, and it was a solo hike I did along a portion of the PCT there in Oregon, and that was really awesome. But I haven't done much in Oregon at all, whether it's been camping or backpacking. So I'm really excited to get back up there for the backpacking trip, and then hopefully spend some time in the Pacific Northwest after that. So hopefully be visiting some new places up in the Pacific Northwest later on this summer.
And maybe see Bigfoot.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate that.
All right. Heidi Q. Even though what you do is amazing and magical, how do you keep motivated to continue doing what you do?
Well, I feel so lucky and fortunate. I mean, I've worked careers since I was basically a teenager. So up until I got on the road full time in 2019. So I am not jaded by this lifestyle whatsoever, even though it's been 6 years that I've been doing it full time. I feel blessed and fortunate every day that I get to live this way and live out in these amazing places. Hey, Marmalade. So I am motivated just by the sheer fact that I love being in nature. I love being outdoors. And actually the fact that this is what I do for a living is also a motivating factor. So I talk about this a lot, like just the fact that I do need to come up with content keeps me motivated to keep out there and find new places to go. And it's not just a job to me, though. It's a lifestyle. I love it, and love being out there. Love being in nature as much as I possibly can.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
All right.
Joey has
I
not
have a
told me
question. Yeah.
what he was going to ask me previously, but he said he did have some questions.
All right. Since you went out, like living on the road, you've done 3 different styles. You lived in a truck camper.
Yeah.
And you pulled a trailer.
Yes.
And now you are sleeping in the back of your truck.
Yes.
So, like, what's your favorite? What's your takeaway from that? What do you like the most?
Okay, that's a great question, and I have a lot of people ask me that, so that's a really good one. I feel like each way that I've traveled, and getting on the road initially for the first time and having my truck camper, that was perfect for that point in my life, and it was a perfect way for me to start and get on the road. Then that didn't feel so comfortable anymore after a few years, and I got the trailer, and then that was perfect for those 3 years of my life. And it was nice having that extra space and that extra cushy, living situation. But then I was a little tired of pulling the trailer and the stress from that, and now I'm just in the truck. So that is perfect for right now, and I'm really kind of dialed in, and feel like it's got my outdoor kitchen going and all of that stuff, and it's perfect for right now. And I'm really enjoying the freedom of not pulling the trailer and being able to get into places that I've never been able to get into before. So they've all been perfect for those periods of my life, and right now, just being in the truck, I'm loving it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. We got some questions coming in.
Yeah, why don't you
Let me see what we got here.
answer one of those?
Oh, thank you. I do try to make my photography. Somebody said they love the focus on photography. The mission statement of my channel has always been to capture and share the beauty of this world with others. Thank you so much, Jody. And that is still my mission statement. I really want it to be less about me as a person and more about sharing the beauty of the world with you. Joey is not from Colorado. He's from Florida. So I hope that I bring that to you, because it's really important to me. I come from a photography background, and that is my main focus. I want to try to bring you as close to what I'm seeing as what I'm seeing, even though no matter what I do with some of these places that I'm at, it never does it justice. So, yeah. Did you have another one for me?
I do. Let's see. The ex-barista. Have you or Joey ever seen a mountain lion in the wild?
Wow. I have
you
not.
seen a mountain lion?
I
No?
have not. Actually, the funny thing is people always talk about bears. Aren't you afraid of bears? Blah, blah, blah. And I am more terrified of mountain lions than I am of bears, because I feel like mountain lions will actually stalk you, whereas bears, they may want to eat you, but most likely they don't, So what about you, Joey?
Well, yes, I have seen one mountain lion in the wild, in Glacier National Park in the backcountry at my campsite. It's kind of spooky. And I've heard them too in Glacier. A lot of mountain lions in Glacier.
Yikes. Yeah. Seen tracks. I think we've seen tracks,
Oh, yeah,
on
lots of
some of the
lion
trips.
tracks.
Yeah. So probably been pretty close. They've probably seen us or me, but I haven't seen them. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right. Nicole hikes a lot. What other places?
Hi, Nicole.
What other places in the Sierra do you still plan on backpacking? Like Kearsarge Trail to Flower Lake or the Pass, or maybe some other section of the JMT or Ray Lakes Loop?
They said they can't hear you very well, so maybe in the next one. But he asked me, Nicole wanted to know what areas in the Sierra I still would like to hike that I've not hiked yet. And she mentioned Kearsarge Pass, and actually Kearsarge is definitely something that I want to do. I want to do the Ray Lakes Loop starting from Kearsarge Pass. So that is definitely on the list, hopefully for this fall. And even though I've done so much in the Sierra, there's still a ton I have not done. So Yeah, there's
Ray
I mean,
Lakes?
Ray Lakes
You gotta do it.
Loop. Yeah,
It's one of the
maybe
best
like the
loops.
JMT. Somebody asked how long you and I have known each other. We actually met in 2017 and started like communicating then and started doing JMT, yeah. And started doing trips together in 2018. So it's been 8 years that we've been doing backpacking trips together. It's been awesome. Yeah. Joey's shown me some amazing, amazing places. He's not a guide. He's just a friend, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and yeah, it's been fun hiking with him for sure over these years.
Here's a good one from Faith. Do you ever think you would travel to Kansas or Oklahoma areas?
Do I ever think I'd travel to Kansas or the Oklahoma areas? I really don't know what there is there in terms of hiking. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I've been to Lawrence, Kansas. If you saw a couple of videos back, I was in Montana seeing my favorite band, VENMO, or one of my favorite bands. I love so much different music. But I went to see them in Lawrence, Kansas in the late 90s. And that's the only experience I've really had with Kansas other than driving through. So somebody said too many bugs. We've had bugs up here in Canada. Somebody's asking why we're in a hotel room. Well, I just came out of a backpacking trip, as I mentioned. So I, first of all, wanted a shower. Also, the places that I've been at are very remote, and I've been relying on Starlink. So I wanted to really make sure that I had adequate power and adequate service for this live feed, because power has been an issue, keeping up with power. We've had a lot of clouds, rain, snow, not rain, storming. Right now here. So we're not able to keep the power bank powered up to power the Starlink to do the live feed. So I did this for you guys.
All right, let's see. What do I
yeah, the backpacking video is going to be amazing. I can't wait to share that with you guys. It's going to be incredible. Somebody just said they can't wait to see that. And I like to take my time with these backpacking videos because they deserve it. Thank you, Kelly. Appalachian Trail. I don't have anything against trying some sections of the Appalachian Trail. That's for sure.
Okay, so you ready for a question?
Yeah, here we go. Another question.
R. Tilly 6479 says, "Hi, Kat. Good to Jasper area bouncing back. Good to see. Questions are, when you are in bear country, but there are no bear boxes, do you tree hang your food and all your hygiene and laundry soaps and smelly stuff, or do you leave them packed in your truck?" I think they're talking about car camping, and they said, "We are on 3-wheel motorcycles camping in a small tent-like trailer.
Okay.
We would hate to see our bikes messed up by a bear trying to break into the trunks." And bears do that. They will break into vehicles sometimes.
They will.
"Our small coolers would be open game, so we put them away from the sleeping area." So they're wanting to know what they should do with the coolers. Like
I think like what I use on a backpacking trip, and my friend Kim and Steven actually just helped me buy a new sack. So I have this huge sack. And what it is it's a sack made out of Kevlar type material where you can store food and you can tie it to a tree. It has to be a pretty sturdy tree, or you can hang it from a tree. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to put any type of cold items in there that have to be refrigerated or perishables or anything like that. But if you're on a motorcycle, it's a great way to store food without taking up a whole lot of space, and bears can't get into it. You just have to read the instructions or watch videos on the proper way to utilize those bear bags. If you have a cooler and you're just having it sit outside in bear country, it's going to be fair game, for a bear. So it's best to find a place to camp that does have a bear box where you can store it. That's going to be the proper way to store it, either in a bear bag, an Ursack type bag, or a bear canister that's made specifically for bear safety and not to get into, or a bear box. That's what I would suggest. Did I answer that, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yelly Yeg 6890 wants to know, how do you feel if a subscriber sees you and comes and says hi, and also when that happens while you're filming. She says, I am a female solo traveler and hike around the Eastern Sierra and Western National Parks. If I saw you, I'd be scared and nervous to come say
Oh,
hi,
goodness.
especially if you had the camera out.
Okay.
So she doesn't want to be invasive or rude. So how
Okay.
do you like people when people say stuff to you and they say hi?
Well, I have that happen all the time, actually, and it doesn't bother me. I enjoy meeting my viewers, and I had somebody come up to me here in Canada and say hello, and I was actually getting ready to film a scene, and the funny thing is I had already pressed record, so I recorded the whole interaction with this viewer, which is kind of cool to have that on video. I love meeting you guys. Feel free to say hello if you're out there. I'm not weird about that at all. I'm just a person just like you guys, and it's nice meeting you. I like to hear what you like about the channel and get your feedback, and love meeting you guys. Would not be weird at all for you to come up and say hello.
She loves it. Makes her smile.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. All right, I gotta pull it up. Okay, this one is from Aaron. Hi, Kat. I love watching your adventures. I wanted to ask what tools or apps you and Joey use to search for water sources on your backpacking trips.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Continues on.
Sure.
It does not appear you ever have issues finding water. I am going backpacking and there are some areas I know that don't have water for quite a distance. I was wondering what you guys do to avoid having to carry so much water.
Okay. Well, in general, most of the places that I backpack have plenty of water. I don't really have much of an issue. I know you've had more of an issue. I don't use an app, first of all. Yeah. We usually know where the streams are, where the lakes are going to be, and kind of have an idea, in between, miles in between, so that we make sure that we carry enough water. So yeah, in general, I'm usually in places that have plenty of water. Yeah. Joey is more the one that probably is in the desert.
Most of the time you're in places that have a lot of water, and usually a lot of times research. I mean, a lot of people use apps now. I'm not one of those people, and you're not using it for the water. I mean, it kind of takes away from the fun, is how I see that. But just really reading a map and seeing where your creeks are, where your lakes are, where your water sources are going to be, and doing a little research online in any form will tell you kind of a general idea of where to find water. But yeah, I mean, I think it helps a lot when you've been in places previously quite a bit to know where the water sources are. But I mean, you always have look. If you're not looking at a map, is what I would say. If you're going to do a trip and you're not going to use an app that tells you where the water source is, you have to kind of look at the map and figure it out yourself, which is kind of the fun part of doing trips sometimes.
Yeah, it is, definitely. And somebody did ask, I saw it come up, what we use for purification, and I'm pretty sure we're both using the Katadyn Be-Free filter. It comes in a little pouch, and you can fill up the pouch and drink right out of it, or you can just filter it into another water receptacle. The problem with those is they do get clogged. So you do have to make sure that after each backpacking trip you do back flush them. And I end up having to replace the filter itself every so often.
Yeah, they're pretty easy actually to backwash, though. You can even backwash them while you're out hiking. If you have clear water, all you need is a little bit, and you just shake it up. And the Be-Frees work really well, but I mean, really, a lot of things work well as well. So
yeah. Somebody had asked too if I plan to take up fly fishing. Kim says Sawyer. Sawyer is also a good filter.
Yeah,
it's a
Sawyer
good.
Works. Everything by Sawyer.
It's definitely tried and true. Somebody asked me about fishing, and I get that question a lot because I'm at beautiful lakes a lot of the time, and the anglers out there can't understand why I'm not fishing those lakes. I'm not an angler, but I do have a friend in the Eastern Sierra, a female, and maybe she's watching this. Her name is Rob, and she's an excellent fly fisher woman, and she has a boat. So I plan to this summer go out with her, and she's going to teach me how to fly fish. So that should be fun. So, yeah.
Okay.
Fishing. Hey, Mark. How you doing? I see you on there.
What brand of hiking shoes do you recommend that can be great for the trail and also wet wading in the water for hours on end?
Okay. I mean, it's hard for me to recommend a specific shoe to a person. I think that's very a personal decision. But I wear the La Sportiva Buscita shoes, and they're a trail running shoe. They're very lightweight, and they're kind of like a mesh material. So your feet do get wet, but I wear them in conjunction with the Darn Tough socks. So they, that combination doesn't give me blisters or anything, and they do dry really fast. So usually if I leave them out overnight to dry, they're dry by the next day. And I bring 2 pairs of socks so that the next morning, if my socks haven't dried, I don't have to put on wet socks right off the bat. So.
Good question. Anything else you want to read off of there?
I'm trying to read them as they're coming through. So I'm doing this on my phone right now. That's always worked out better for me. I'm trying to sit up as close as I can to it so I can see your questions coming through. So yeah, if you guys have some questions, keep them coming through. I'll try to answer them from you here live too.
All right.
Berry Mountain Shakes, recommending the Berry Mountain Shakes. Have I seen more income come from my channel? That's a weird thing. So I do this for a living, obviously. And the thing with doing YouTube full-time for a living is that it fluctuates very drastically. You just never know. Like I don't know what the trick is with the algorithm, and basically you're paid by YouTube from the amount of views that you get. So the more views you get per video, the more the advertisers pay, and the more you get paid each month. So whether your video gets recommended or not, or how the algorithm works, I have no idea. So it fluctuates from time to time. It's been kind of steady over the last few years. It hasn't gone up wildly or down wildly, but I'm certainly not rich. I'm just able to afford to continue this lifestyle and take care of myself, really. So that's all I really could ask for. So I get to live this way, which is pretty amazing.
All right, coming up. Here we go.
All right. Somebody asked why we were in the hotel room. I think I answered that one earlier.
Okay. Debbie.
Thank you, Nick.
Debbie wants to know, how do you find your campgrounds, and how do you cope with no cell service in many areas?
Okay. So I have been using a app that I'm able to find campgrounds on. It's called Campendium. I think I've shared about that before. So I use an app, and it has all these different filters. So you can say, I'm going to this area and I want to find Forest Service camping, or I want to camp for free. I want to camp on BLM land. So you can filter that out so that it will show you just those types of options. And they're pretty widely, they have a wide range of areas. I don't think I've been to one area where they did not have a suggestion for camping. So that's mainly how I find my camping. And then in terms of cell service, a couple of years ago, I purchased Starlink. So that has worked out very well for me when I'm in areas that don't have cell service. I can just hook up my Starlink, and as long as I have a clear view of the sky, it works pretty well. But here where we have been in areas that don't have trees, or that have a lot of trees, excuse me. So in those areas, it doesn't really always work that well. So that's another reason why I'm in a hotel room, because I wanted to make sure that this live stream went pretty smoothly. Oh, there's my sister. Hi. She said Birdie is watching.
Aww.
Hi, Birdie. Do you hear me? Cool. Yes, I also do use All Trails. Somebody's asking about All Trails. Yeah, I definitely use All Trails as well. for hiking maps that you can download. People probably don't understand what I'm answering. All Trails is an app for hiking where you can download maps to use offline. So I will occasionally download the maps so that I have them out in the wilderness along with a paper map, just to be redundant, you know, and be sure that I have a way to find my way around. Anything else you got for me? Okay.
Let's see.
Some of the questions are going by very fast.
Is there a way to scroll through them? I'm going to pull that one up. I think you already kind of answered this, but question, how do you afford to travel as much as you do and buy a nice brand new truck? It's a great question. And how do you still work to be able to afford this, as it cannot be cheap? In other words,
so somebody's asking me how I afford the lifestyle, how I afford to purchase things, and do I still work? This is, I don't think that some people realize that YouTube is a job. Content creation is a job. So making the videos for you all, I monetize them. So I get revenue from monetizing my videos. I also have a Patreon. So if you guys aren't familiar with my Patreon, feel free to check it out. It's patreon.com, and I am under Catherine Gregory Adventures. And what that is it's for folks that want to support what I do out here, to become members. And in exchange for that, I do give you a sneak peek at usually what I'm doing before anybody else gets to see that. And all kinds of Q&As occasionally that are just for patrons. Sometimes I go to my patrons for advice that I don't, share with the channel. And so there's lots of benefits to becoming a patron. And also you get to help support the channel. And then I do sponsorships as well. I work with different sponsors and get paid through them to sponsor certain videos. So I have those 3 forms of revenue. And thank you, Mobile Tech. Thank you, Larry. He's a patron. I appreciate it so well. So much, I should say. So yeah, check out Patreon. There's different forms of revenue, and I do make just enough to support my lifestyle and to get myself a new vehicle every once in a while. I am making payments on my vehicle. I don't own it outright, so I'll be paying for it for a while. But I needed a new vehicle. If you guys saw my old truck, you know I needed a new vehicle.
Jimmy C wants to know, if you had one last backpacking trip to do, where would you go?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I might end up doing one that I've already done before, I would think. The one that we just did in the Glacier National Park was one of my favorites that I've ever done. It was just like, I think I titled that video, The Adventure of a Lifetime. And honestly, it really felt that way. And so that's one that I could probably do again. Glacier National Park is so beautiful. Up here, it's so beautiful. It's almost like you're in this dream world, to be honest with you. The scenery up here and in Glacier, it's very similar. So I'd probably do, one of those.
This is kind of another good question along the same line. Samantha wants to know, have you ever done a backpacking trip someplace and you're just like never going back there again? It was just not
Well, you'll have to stay tuned for the next video, because there was a portion of the hike that I would never do again.
On the last trip that you have not made a video for yet.
I have not made a video for yet, so you'll have to stay tuned for that, because it was tough, folks. It was definitely tough. You're gonna see some interesting things, some beautiful things. So you'll have to stay tuned for that. But there's a part of that route that I would never do again. Once was enough.
Jean62 wants to know, what is the longest hike you've done? Good question.
The longest hike.
And you could go
Gosh.
longest in days or longest in
Well,
miles?
the longest days was 7 days, and I did a trip up here, and that was 2 years ago. So it was on 1 week, or it was a 1 week trip. You can kind of tell the little basics of the route that we did.
Which one was it?
The 7 day one that we started at Johnson Canyon.
Oh, the Sawback Range.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Banff, beautiful area. I really couldn't tell you much on the trip, but that's where we were.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful trip. 7 days is the longest one I've done. Consider doing the John Muir Trail. Hi, Larry. Yeah, I think I might have said that earlier, but yeah, I would love to do the John Muir Trail eventually. That's probably the only through hike I would do. If I was to do a through hike, I would just do maybe a short one like that, a shorter one, because I don't think, we were actually having this discussion on the trail on this last trip. I don't think that I would want to dedicate months and months of my life to one particular trail. And like, for instance, the PCT, you would have to take probably about 5 months of your life to do that trail. And that's just not something that I really would be interested in doing. But JMT, yeah, definitely. And I've done the Trans Catalina Trail, which is like a 50 some odd mile through hike. So little through hikes like that would be definitely on my list. Somebody just said they got back from the Lost Coast Trail. That's one of my
awesome.
favorite trips I've ever done. And I did not expect that going into it. I did not expect to love it as much as I did, and it was epic. Somebody's asking how we met. We met through YouTube, actually. I started commenting on his videos. If people don't know, Joey does have a channel. It's called My Own Frontier. He had his original channel, took that down, but now he also has it back up again. And he has content on there. And yeah, I wound up just commenting on his videos and
started asking questions on Facebook.
Yeah, and then
Here we
met him
are.
over on Facebook, and 8 years later, here we are, friends ever since.
All right, let's see. Camera gear can get heavy. How do you prioritize what to bring with you on a backpacking trip for photography and video? By the way, we've been following your videos from the very beginning. This is from Leon. Great question, Leon.
Yeah, great question. Well, it's funny because when I first started going out backpacking and hiking, I carried a Sony A6400, which is a pretty big mirrorless camera, and a full-size tripod. And, you know, I set up shots and do that sort of thing. And I did that for years, but it got to the point where I felt like it was hindering my hiking experience. So then I started carrying just my phone and a GoPro. But the problem with that is I could not take high quality images that I would be able to put on my website. And the fact is, as I'm going on foot, I'm going to some of these absolutely beautiful places that people can only see when they're going there on foot. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining my Patreon. So that forced me to look at cameras that would be lightweight and easy to bring into the backcountry. So right now I'm bringing a little Sony RX100, I think it's a 7. So it shoots in 4K, and it, actually, I think I have it here. Let me show it to you. It shoots in 4K, and it's really small. I can wear it in a little like kind of fanny pack thing around my waist, and I can just pull it out. So when I'm backpacking, I carry it in my around my waist, and I can pull out this little camera, and this thing shoots beautiful, beautiful high quality images. I shoot in RAW, and I can put those on my website. So I captured some beautiful ones from this last backpacking trip that will definitely be going up on the website. So that was really important to me. I had to prioritize making, a camera that would make beautiful images on my backpacking trips, and I came up with this as a solution. Yeah.
Here's a good one from Steve Anderson.
Canon Sure Shot. So I have to check that out. Thank you.
Were the people in Canada friendly to you since you're Americans.
You know what? Everybody's been
everybody's
very
been
friendly.
really super friendly.
Yeah.
Everyone in Canada
Yeah.
is awesome. Canada's a great place. And,
Yeah.
no one seems to take anything personally, and
yeah, they've been very welcoming, and yeah, it's been great. We actually had a Canadian local named Stuart join us on this last trip. Maybe he's watching this. If you're out there, Stuart, he's got a channel called How's the Hike.
Check out How's the Hike on YouTube. Stuart's awesome. He's Mr. Canadian Rockies. He's living out of his van, doing trips out here all the time, and he was nice enough to come do a trip with us into this pretty cool off the beaten section of Canadian Rockies that Catherine
very much
so
off
excited
trail
for you guys to see this video because it's her favorite hiking of all time.
You know what? I loved it. It was a great experience. It was hard. It was a hard trip.
It was a hard trip. Yeah.
Martina has been asking how your backpack is holding up. I see her asking.
Martina, your backpack was awesome. That lasted me like 2 years. It was completely. I have.
First of all, backstory, everybody. Martina gifted Joey a backpack.
She did
couple years ago.
Trip with you.
Yeah.
And then didn't like her backpack. Decided to gift it to me. It was a Gregory. No way, it was an Osprey Atmos 65 liter, I want to say, and I used it for 2 years, and it was awesome. So thank you very much.
But you don't have it anymore.
No,
right?
I don't have it. I finally retired it like a month ago because my buddy Jason Andrews donated a new pack. I think it's a Gregory something, and the other one had holes in it. So
Martina,
it was time to retire it, but it was awesome.
He put it to great use. So thank you, Cindy. Cindy Waters.
Jamie McCracken. Question: do you mostly do what you want to do and not do something just because you think it will get views?
Oh, that's a great question.
Great question.
I mostly do what I want to do. And honestly, my channel, even though I do have over 100,000 subscribers, has grown relatively slow in the world of YouTube. And that's, I think, because I follow my heart and I don't do a lot of what people do just to get views. So yeah, I just do, it's really important for me to not only be able to do this for a living, but also to enjoy my life. So in doing that, I have to stay true to myself. And yeah, so I hope that answers that question.
Sorry, I gotta read through the.
Oh, thank you, Martina. Aw, thank you, Cindy.
Debbie Butler says, I love the music that you use in your videos. Can you let us know the artist you use?
Okay.
I don't know if you.
Well, I use a lot of different artists. I use a royalty-free subscription service called epidemicsound.com. So basically, as a member of that, I am able to use any music from their site royalty-free, so I don't get into trouble with YouTube. I don't get any copyright dings or anything like that. And they have a huge library, so I'm very, very particular because I am such a huge fan of music. I've been born and raised on music. I've been listening to music all my entire life. It's really important to me. I take my time and make sure that I really am particular about what pieces of music go with what scenes, and that it fits the mood, and I hope that that comes across. So thank you.
John Wilson wants to know, where is a good place to travel on a West Coast trip coming from the East Coast? So let's just say he's never been to the West Coast before. He wants to travel, do some camping. What would you suggest to somebody?
Okay.
First time trip, West Coast, if they only know East Coast.
Okay. Well, I would say not necessarily the West Coast, but the West. I would definitely check into or visit Utah, Wyoming, and Montana. I think you would definitely have to hit up those 3 states. There's a lot of diversity in those 3 states. You can see some of the most wild places in the lower 48 in a couple of those states. And there's just unreal beauty in those 3 states. So I would say if you can only hit up 3 states, Those would be
those are
the
the
three I
ones?
would recommend, you know. And if you're actually talking the coast,
Then you can add all those other states: Washington, Oregon,
Pacific
California,
Northwest.
the northern California coast with the redwoods, the Lost Coast. That's like a must.
Love
see.
you too.
The Olympic Coast in Washington is just a must-see, spectacular. The Oregon coast is awesome, and that's just in addition to everything that you just said about those Rocky Mountain states.
Couple questions for you. What beer are you drinking?
Which one? This is a Crisp Pils, a Pilsner from Jasper Brewing here in locally in Jasper. I got a few others down here. This another good one too. Sneaky Weasel. This is a good one. I've never tried this before. It's a lager. I'm not gonna waste much time here, but
Anyways, people probably know that I am sober. I've been sober since 2007, but I have no desire to drink, and it does not bother me when he drinks. So
I'm sober too.
And somebody also wanted to know what your next trip plans were.
It's a good question. I'm doing something here in the Canadian Rockies solo this week, and then I'm going down to Glacier National Park to
Awesome,
focus on
Bob.
2 big trips, Livingston Range and then a Norris Southern Traverse in Glacier. But hopefully have some videos of that. I did want to point out one, Keith and Sherry. I met Keith and Sherry down in Escalante. They bought me a pitcher of beer, me and my buddy
they
Party
mentioned
Pat.
to me.
Super cool people, really fun to talk to them. And Keith said, we just got back from an 8-night, 9-day pack trip into the Bridger Teton Wilderness. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Miss you guys. Sorry we missed you guys in Escalante. That's all I want to say is what's up, Keith? What's up, Sherry?
And by the way, I know a lot of people ask about Joey. He's filming all of his trips, and he will eventually be posting back on his channel, correct?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people ask about that. What else? What else do we got?
I'm trying to read through everything here.
Oh, somebody was asking, and they've asked a couple of times if I'm ever going to come back east, and if I visit the Smoky Mountains. I would like to visit the Smoky Mountains. I have done a trip in Arkansas. That was back in 2021. It was called the Eagle Loop or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a beautiful hike, and I would like to visit the Smoky Mountains at some point. I was supposed to during that same trip back east, but there was a big snowstorm and I didn't do it. So Eagle Rock Loop, that's right. Thank you.
Do you plan to visit Yoho National Park this time?
Oh, wow.
Great question.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I hope to. I would like to. I don't know how much longer I'll be here, but I think that if I am here a little bit longer, that will probably be the place that I'll go.
Have you ever actually had to use your bear spray?
I have not.
No?
No. I mean, we came pretty close proximity to a grizzly bear 2 years ago here in Canada. We were in Banff, hiking through Banff.
Assiniboine,
Yeah, we went to Mount Assiniboine, and there was a grizzly bear just above the trail. We kind of watched it for a while. It watched us, and there was no way of continuing on our path unless we went right underneath it. And luckily, it was up on a slope, and it didn't seem bothered by us. It was just foraging. So we eventually did go right underneath it, but I thought at any time it could just change its mind on a dime and come after us. But I have not. Have you ever had to use your bear spray?
No, never used my bear spray. Was that the closest bear encounter you've ever had?
Thank you, Stephen. That was probably, that was the closest. Okay. How about you?
Yeah.
Joey's like, I got stories about bears. Yeah, that was the closest I've ever come, and it was a grizzly too, so definitely scary.
Have you ever seen Bigfoot tracks in the forest? Good question.
I have not, but still always looking for them. Yeah, the time Joey got stuck in the outhouse with a bear, that's a great story. Thank you so much. E. Kempo, I think that is. When are you coming back to Winthrop, Washington? Maybe soon. You never know. I might be back in that area at some point soon. That's a great area because it's so close to the Cascades. When will I come back to Idaho? I love Idaho, and I went through there just a couple months ago, and I didn't get to spend as much time as I would have liked to there. So
yeah, you got to go back.
We got to meet
it's
the
one
folks.
Of your favorite places.
Yeah,
is Idaho.
we got to meet the folks with the channel More to Life Outdoors, and that was fun meeting them. They were really nice. They came up to our camp, by the way.
What's the name of that dredge? They work
Yankee Fork.
The dredge at Yankee Fork.
Yeah, go visit them at Yankee Fork. They work there all summer. And
basically just north of Stanley.
Yeah, there were some folks that just came up into us and recognized the truck and came up to us on the campsite, and very nice people. We've met some very nice people that way.
Here's a question. What do you find most challenging about traveling and camping?
I would say just moving around so much, and trying to find out where to sleep next and that sort of thing.
The stress of it.
Not knowing where you're gonna go from one night to the next, and I tend to move around a lot. But that's probably it. Right now I'm in very tight quarters with just the truck, so it's a little bit tighter and can be a little bit more challenging. There's some more setup involved when you get to each camp, and that can add a little less stress, but I'm getting it more streamlined to where it's easier, and that's probably it, I would say. Yeah.
Hold on, I have one here for you. Would you ever consider towing the trailer across the country to camp on the East Coast?
Yeah, why not?
I know, why not?
Yeah, I know there's some. Where would you guys suggest I visit on the East Coast? I'd love to hear that.
She's looking for things to do this winter. So anywhere you guys would like to see her go, let her know. Give her some suggestions.
Yeah, winter.
East Coast is huge.
Yeah, if there are places that don't, have a lot of weather. Yeah, somebody said Maine. I know my friend Martina lives in Cape Cod. She's always trying to get me out there. The Reeves lives in North Carolina. So, how's the gas mileage not towing now? I get pretty good gas mileage, actually, in the truck. It's a diesel truck. It's a 2500 HD, and I get, I think the best miles per gallon I've gotten so far is over 27 miles per gallon.
That's pretty good.
So, come to Florida. Yeah. Hey, Mike.
I was going to say hi.
Hi, Mike.
Wants to know if you plan
It's been
to
around
visit
for
Florida.
a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Florida, but I didn't film it. I went there just recently. So there are a lot of places back east. Upper Peninsula, I know that place is beautiful in the fall. I know that place the trees go off there. Yeah.
Have you ever seen anything strange or paranormal? AKA ghosts, Bigfoot? Any just like aliens, UFOs?
Nothing really crazy,
UFOs?
but there was one time we were in Silverton just this last year, and I looked up in the sky and there was something floating up there, and I was freaking out because it didn't move and it was just hovering in one spot, and I was like, what in the heck is that? And I went and grabbed my camera and took a picture and then zoomed in, and it was a weather balloon.
Here we go.
But I do believe
we
are not the only ones in this
They're already
planetary.
Here. Have you ever considered a van? That would be like a fourth different traveling lifestyle.
I have. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a van. Martina has a new van that she needs to bring out west, and 4x4 that her and her husband rebuilt all themselves and built up all themselves, and I would love to check that out, and I wouldn't be opposed to a van. Not at all.
Just another way.
Yeah, just another way to travel.
Brandy Lee Outdoors wants to know, how is your sister doing? Birdie's mama.
Jill. Jill was just on here a few minutes ago. I don't know if she's still here. She is doing amazing, by the way. She is gardening. She has a huge green thumb, and she's growing all kinds of squash and pumpkins and broccoli and just amazing. Her garden is like her thing. Birdie's doing great. Oh, she's still here. Jill said she's still here. Say hi to Jill, everybody. Give Jill a thumbs up. She's doing great. She's still cancer free. She just said she's doing great. She's still cancer free, and she is getting more mobile all the time. She's never going to be like 100% to where she was pre-cancer, but she has come a very long way. So thank you all so much for asking. I just got to see her over the 4th of July holiday, and we had a lot of fun. She said, thank you for thinking of her, everyone.
When did you realize you could make it full-time on the road? Were you making the same amount on YouTube before you left your full-time job?
No, I was making far less before I left my full-time job because I wasn't 100% invested in the channel that way. So I just kind of did it on my free time, more of like a hobby. And I didn't know if I'd ever make it on YouTube, by the way. I actually cashed out my 401k and I decided that I would have at least 2 years of savings to give it a go in case I never made 1 cent. And it took about 2 years to make a little bit of a profit, and that's basically all I'm making is a little bit of a profit still all these years later, but that's okay.
But you're having more fun.
I get to work for myself.
Yeah.
I get to come and go as I please. I get to, you know, do what I want to do, and that's awesome. And I am able to put some money away for savings as well. And I've got a retirement plan actually in the works right now. So I'll talk about that probably in another video down the road. So come to Alexander Springs. Hi, Brad. I've never heard of Alexander Springs.
I've heard of Alexander Springs.
It's
Close to
Florida?
Florida Springs, yeah. It's pretty.
Okay. All right. Go Jill. Yep.
Trying to, sorry. I'm not doing
Lots of people are
not doing a good
lots
job
of people
of
are
hosting
talking.
here. I'm trying to read. I'm not
So I
reading
thought I'd
fast.
maybe talk about a little bit about my future friends and or future friends. I was just reading your comment, Kim. I thought I'd talk a little bit about my future plans. And one of the things that I do have planned is I am going to be going to the Pacific Northwest. I'm going to be meeting up with the Reeves. I hope to spend some time in Oregon to just explore there a little bit. I haven't really spent that much time there. I haven't really spent that much time in Washington recently. Over the last couple of years, I've kind of passed through. I did a little short trip on the coast, the Ozette Loop, which I really loved on the Olympic coast. So I'd like to explore there more. I'd like to do more in the North Cascades. So that could be on the agenda for the near future. I also want to spend some time in my beloved Sierra. So I definitely have some of that on my list and lots of adventure to come. I definitely always want to keep mixing it up for you guys because I know that you like to see amazing places. I want to give you ideas of things that you can do or see, and lots more camping. I know a lot of you love my camping stuff. Kim, you didn't have to do that, but thank you. I should be paying you for being the moderator. So I got lots of fun stuff planned, lots of stuff with Joey. I'm very grateful to have him as a hiking partner because, to be honest with you, I would not be hiking in Grizzly country at all alone. I wouldn't have been doing this backpacking trip that we just completed up here because I won't do any backpacking in Grizzly country alone. So it's awesome to have him as a hiking partner. And on this last one, he really had my back because there were some tough parts. And he not only mentally got me through it, but he physically got me through it. So thank you, Joey.
You're welcome. Thank you for sticking it out.
Yeah.
Want another question?
Sure, I'll take another one. I won't be too much longer because I know Kim and Martina probably want to get back to their evenings.
What advice can you give to a solo female who wants to start a YouTube channel as a living?
I'd say go for it. You know, don't let fear stop you. I mean, there's a lot of people out there doing it now, so I think the market is a little bit more saturated with that sort of thing, but if you can find a way to, you know, make yourself stand out and
be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
And just
that's the number one
express
thing.
your message and whatever it is you want to create.
Mm-hmm.
And don't try to emulate other things,
That's
but
right.
just create what's coming from the inside and make it happen.
Yeah, because people will know. I think people know
succeed
when you're not generous, or when you're not genuine.
Genuine.
Excuse me. By the way, have I told you I'm nervous? That's why I do so few of these, because I do get super, super nervous. Why did YouTube? I have no idea. And Patreon increased their fees. I don't know. I wish I did know. Do you have a Spotify or Apple Music? No, I usually use Pandora. That's what I use a lot to listen to music. I have the different radio stations on there and listen to Pandora a lot, or just play music that I want to hear on YouTube. So, all right, guys. Well, we have been doing this now for over an hour, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I want to thank everyone so much for joining me. I want to thank Joey for being in cahoots with me and my co-host and my question asker and helping me get through this, because I am nervous. And thank you to Martina and Kim for being the moderators. You guys are amazing. I can't wait to get out backpacking with you guys again. And anything you want to add, Joey?
Why should everybody keep watching? What's coming next? What should everyone look forward to the most here?
Lots more
Cat's
beauty,
adventures.
Lots more new places that I've never been to before. Lots more beauty of the world. I hope to keep bringing that to you guys. Exciting adventures, exciting camping, lots of fun. I don't know. I hope that answers that question. What do you think?
All right. Well, it's because it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting.
Coming up.
It is going to be exciting. Thank you all so much for your support. I love you all so much. And with that, I'm going to sign off.
See you guys.
See you soon. Bye, everybody.